Hey, Realtors, I'm Mortgage Mo, and today we're going to talk tax grievances and how it helps you. I'm here with the specialist, Michelle. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. I'm Michele LaGrassa with Heller and Consultants Tax Grievance.
So, what are the direct benefits that realtors have when they help their clients with their tax grievances?
So, a lot of realtors don't realize what a phenomenal tool tax grievance is that can help them in a variety of ways in their business. Primarily, I usually will tell a realtor when you have a listing, let me take a look at the assessment. And I feel like I'm giving you good news no matter what. It's going to be one of three different things. I'm either going to let you know that the property is fairly assessed and the taxes are not being overpaid, which is great news. The second bit of information I might give a realtor is that the taxes are actually low for the value of the property. And so it could be a good benefit so that when a potential buyer asks a realtor about the taxes on their listing, they could say, hey, great news. I've already had these taxes analyzed and they're actually low for the value of the property. So you'll be getting a good deal on the taxes. So, for example, a realtor has a property listed at 700,000 and I tell them that the property is assessed at 600,000. Now that realtor could say, this is a tax bill that you'd expect to pay on a home worth only $600,000, but you're getting a home worth $700,000. And that they will not increase the tax assessment just because of a higher purchase price. So that's the second bit of good news. The third way that I could help a realtor with their listing is when the property is overassessed. So I usually will help encourage the seller to start the grievance process. Doesn't cost them anything to do that. That allows me to give the realtor a letter for the listing that states that we're in the process of professionally grieving the taxes, what we estimate the reduction will be. They can leave that letter on the counter at an open house. That's a common way that realtors will call me. I have an open house this weekend. Please help me with these taxes. They can attach the letter to the listing on MLS. They can mention it in remarks. So those letters are often helpful, especially when a property is being overtaxed.
Okay. So, this way, the potential buyer, even though they're prepared for the taxes now, they can find out that they might get better news pretty soon.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So you really there's a few things that are happening. It's definitely a service to the potential buyer. So we do transfer the grievance case over to the buyer. Grievance process is lengthy, so the buyer will be the one that's benefiting from the reduced tax bill. But especially as the deadlines get closer, um, if if the seller doesn't apply for a grievance and the taxes are too high, the buyer is going to be paying those too high taxes for at least an additional year. So it is very helpful. You're doing a service to the buyer by starting the grievance process. And of course, you're helping the seller because I know the market hasn't been, I've been doing this for 15 years. So the market's been a little different than more recent past, but there's definitely circumstances where when the taxes are too high, the realtor has a difficult time selling the property, even getting people to come look at it. So what usually has to happen is they lower the price. And rather than lowering the price on your listing because you're not getting enough offers, because the taxes are a deterrent, get the taxes looked at because then there's a higher sale price for the seller. The buyer is actually, their money is being invested into the actual property and not taxes. And obviously, more commission to the agent if there's a higher sale price. So it's one of those things that really just benefits everyone involved in the transaction.
And also, this is, just my opinion. Sellers get, not even sellers, homeowners get badgered from people trying to take the listing.
Oh, yeah.
And quite frankly, when they're getting badgered, a lot of the listing agents are offering absolutely nothing of value to them at all.
That is such a perfect scenario to bring in here because I'll tell you, I work with thousands of realtors across Long Island. There is a very small handful that actually use me in this capacity, and I think it's a brilliant tool for them. So an agent can call me before they go on a listing appointment. I can review the property, let them know if it would qualify for a reduction.
Mhm.
So let's just say it does. I might ask the agent, do you have an idea of what you might list it for? Did you do any CMAs yet? And so now, when that agent goes in and sits down with this potential seller trying to get the listing, they could say to the seller, one of the things that I don't know if you realize this, but your taxes are overassessed and you're paying too much. One of the things that I'm going to do if you hire me as your agent is I'm going to help you start the tax grievance process. It's not going to cost you anything to do that. And that's going to allow me to market your property with potentially lower taxes and help pique interest from sellers, from buyers rather, and help get more offers. So
Yeah.
I think that's something that can really help set an agent apart from other agents that maybe the seller is interviewing and help them to get the listing. And I've certainly had agents say, Michele, that helped me. I got the listing. They're starting the grievance, send me the letter for the listing, and it's worked out perfectly. So I think it's a great tool. And if I was an agent, I'd be doing it.
Yeah, no, that's great. And
Yeah.
again, just my opinion. I think even before that, just to start a conversation of bringing something of
100%.
value, saying, hey,
Yeah.
you want lower property taxes? Let me help you. I'm an expert.
Yeah, exactly. And, I'll tell you, a lot of agents, like, from what I understand, it's 85% of their business comes from referrals. So it's important for them to stay in contact with their past clients, potential clients, people that they met with over the course of the year. And so tax grievance, especially with the upcoming deadlines, is a great excuse to reach out to people. You're offering them a benefit. If you've closed on a property over the last year, you can reach out to to those homeowners that purchase homes from you and say, hey, I don't know if you know, it's tax grievance season. We offer a discount to anyone that's referred by their realtor. So you'd say, hey, if you use this company, mention my name, I create like special referral codes for realtors so that we can actually track the responses if they do, email campaigns, if they do social media posting. So I'll create marketing material for them. And then we can track it with their personal referral code. And again, it just gives them a great excuse to be able to reach out to people that they've met with over the course of the year or years, their whole database, and helps them to stay on top of mind.
Yeah, I'm actually putting it together right now. That's going to be branded specifically for the realtor.
Amazing.
And now that you mention it, I'm actually going to be reaching out to my old clients to see if they need a tax grievance. And I don't do real estate at all.
Right.
I know
It's just
they're
the
going to tell
value
their
add.
friends.
Absolutely, Mel. That's exactly how I feel. You're really just adding value for people. You're, positioning yourself as a trusted advisor, that you're looking out for them in every capacity that you can, and, property taxes are a huge burden for a lot of homeowners. So for you to be able to alleviate that for them, even just a little bit, I mean, they're going to thank you for it, and they're going to
Yeah.
remember you, the next time that they have someone that, they have real estate needs, mortgage needs, real estate, listing, whatever, home selling, buying. So, staying on top of mind and having them know that you're a trusted advisor, I think just a phenomenal thing to be able to offer to people.
And just laws of nature. You help people, they help you.
Right.
Just the way things are.
That's the way it works. Yep, for sure.
Yeah, that's me going into philosophy. Can you tell us a success story of how a realtor benefited directly from assisting with the grievance?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you a quick little story that happened a few years ago. There was and there's many. I mean, there's realtors that have called me from the closing table when the true taxes came back way higher than they were anticipated, and I've helped in those scenarios. But there was a situation where a property owner, a realtor couldn't sell the property. The taxes were just way too high. She called me, asked me to take a look at it, and the property qualified for a $7,000 a year reduction. And it was a
Okay.
moderately priced home, and she could not get anyone to people weren't even coming to look at it. The taxes were, again, for moderately priced homes, $7,000 was a and it was right at that 25% maximum reduction in a year. So it was a big reduction, and she really needed it. So she said, Michele, I'm going to have my seller call you, get him to get this grievance started.
Okay.
So sure enough, she called me a few days later and said, Michele, my seller just does not want to do this. He's afraid that, what if we can't transfer the grievance over to the buyer? What if the buyer doesn't want it? Can I have him call you so you could explain this to him? I need him to get this grievance going. So I said, of course. The seller called me. I explained it to him that the property is $7,000 overassessed and that his agent's having a hard time selling his property. And he said, well, what if the buyer adamantly refuses to take over this grievance? I said, well, there's a few things that you can do. So, by the way, most attorneys now do automatically include the grievance transfer in the language in the contract of sale. But I tell the seller and the agent, tell the attorney, just put the grievance transfer in the contract of sale anyway, just in case it's not already there.
Mhm.
The letter that I provide to the agent regarding the grievance, it's on there in big bold letters, important, contact our office to transfer the grievance once there's a buyer in contract. So the buyer is seeing this letter. They know there's a grievance in process. So I had said to the seller, well, you could not sell your home to the person if they refuse to take it over, which it's kind of a silly option because obviously can't sell the house. He's not going to turn somebody away, right?
Yeah.
I said you can have your realtor use it at the negotiation table and maybe you split the difference of what the fee is going to be, because he said, if you reduce the taxes $7,000 and my fee's half, I'm going to be paying $3,500 for a tax reduction on a home I don't even own anymore. And I said, I completely understand. I said, but let me ask you this. So I gave him those options. And I said, your agent cannot sell your home because your taxes are too high. No offers are coming in. What is she going to do to now make your home more attractive to a prospective buyer? And he said, lower the price. And I said, exactly. I said, and she's not lowering it by $3,500 a year. She's lowering it by 15,000, 20,000. And, the light bulb went off and he said, I got it. Done. He filed the grievance. We absolutely transferred it to the buyer. The buyer got a house that they loved. They had to pay the high taxes until the grievance kicked in. They got a $7,000 reduction and everyone was happy. The agent was happy. She sold the home, finally got some offers. The seller was happy. He got his asking price. Buyer was happy. They got a lower tax bill. So that's just one of the many, stories and how help realtors sell their listings for, faster sometimes and sometimes for more money, like I said, by reducing the taxes.
It's definitely a good one.
Yeah.
All right, so we spoke a little bit briefly on it, but how can a realtor use tax grievance knowledge as a unique selling point in their marketing?
Yeah. So I mentioned already with the listings, that's a great tool for them. When they're taking a buyer out to look at a property or several properties, they can call me ahead of time to have me look at those properties for them. And now, when they show their buyer a home, if the tax bill is, uncomfortable for them, they might be able to say, great news, I've already had these taxes analyzed and they can be reduced X amount of dollars a year. And that could potentially help encourage an offer from a buyer, knowing that the taxes can be reduced. As you mentioned earlier, going on a listing appointment is, I think, a great way that they can use tax grievance. And then, of course, as we talked about with the upcoming deadlines, just using it as a marketing tool, an excuse to reach out to, past and potential clients about, tax grievance and the deadlines coming up, offer them a discount if they use our company and, help stay on top of mind and get some referrals.
Yeah. And I was thinking on top of that, they can also send out an email blast to people, text message their previous clients, put QR codes on their printed material, put posts on social media.
Yeah.
Pretty much anything.
Yeah, anything. I do have some marketing material that I've created with some tax grievance deadline FAQs and things like that, just letting homeowners know no one's coming to visit your house. Your taxes can't go up because you filed a grievance. Homeowners that grieve every year pay 25% less than those that don't. And then I can put the agent's business card, contact information there, give them a specific, referral discount code. So, and then yes, they can post that on social media. They can use it in email campaigns and things like that. So yeah, I think it's a great tool, and it doesn't cost the agent anything to do that. It's like free marketing ideas,
Don't tell people the secret.
Right?
So let's say realtors are watching it right now. How do they go about sending somebody to you to get the tax grievance done?
Great. So I usually ask everyone to use the referral code that I give them because that helps attach the client to me. So that helps me. It's a resource for me. Realtors are my clients basically. But they can text me, call me, email me, or even visit our company website, hellertaxgrievance.com. They can apply for applications in seconds. Realtors, I would say, call me or text me or send me an email. Let me know that you want to generate some marketing material or you want to send me a property address to review for you. And it's like I said, super simple. Email, text is always the fastest way, especially this time of the year when we get close to the deadlines. My voicemail fills up pretty quickly. But yeah, I'm always happy to help. They can reach out to me and I'm happy to, again, generate marketing material for them, review any properties for buyers, sellers, potential sellers, friends, family, all that.
Yeah. Just simply message us. We'll send you the link on where to direct everybody.
Yeah. That's
and also, you had mentioned it earlier that when realtors need to get their own tax grievances done.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for mentioning that, Mo. So we do offer a reduced fee to realtors on their personal property. only 33% of the first year savings. So all they would need to do once they apply, there'll be a section on the application that says, do you have a referral code? They'll just put in realtor, hit that apply code button, and they'll automatically see a pop-up that says their fee has been reduced.
Okay.
So yes, that's our thanks as a professional courtesy for their referrals and their business. So yeah, happy to offer
Your
that.
friends.
Exactly.
And apart from this, we did another video where we go through the frequently asked questions. But if you still have questions, we're here for it.
Perfect. Thanks.
Any closing thing to tell the people?
Just that it's really tax grievance is such a phenomenal tool for realtors. I hope that you take advantage of it. I hope you learned something from this video. I hope that you realize some of these great tools that you can use, and I hope that you contact me.
It was great having you as a guest, and everybody else, stay blessed.